Hey everybody, and welcome to episode 2 of The Grind. Now, this video is a little bit later than I'd intended, however it is going to play nicely when it comes to Sieges and Node Wars, that I'm going to be doing my weekly updates, or bi-weekly updates, after Nodes and after Sieges, so that I have a little bit more to talk about. But anyway, since the last video, as you can see on screen, my gear has come a long way. I'm all try on my main sets, however, looking at this, there is a little bit of an issue. A Talis helm is sat there. Now that's because I've managed to delete my ultimate trigrunal helm, and I am waiting for that to be restored by the GMs, but hopefully that's going to be in the next couple of days. Now gearing to this point has not been plain sailing by any stretch of the imagination. In fact, there has been such a short supply of hards and sharps that getting up to try has been very challenging. So much so that I have resorted to using cron stones just to try and cut down on the amount of stones that I'm using to get my gear to try. Thankfully though, because of the early days and having a little bit of foresight, buying up costumes and costume pieces, this has done nothing but cost me in-game silver. A lot of people have already done this themselves and are really starting to reap the rewards. If unfortunately you've missed out on that train, there is still the option to buy the cosmetics yourselves and break them down for cron stones. Invest in the money or the silver in cron stones themselves, which probably isn't going to be cost efficient due to the cost of them, or ultimately just suck it up, go through the process of failing, building your stacks and then enhancing. Now one tip I did want to make people aware of, because I've noticed there is a huge stack of pre-orders on armor and weapon stones. So if you're one of these people that can't progress their gear because they're waiting for regular armor or weapon stones, this is just a little bit of a quick tip for you. Providing that there is at least one piece of armor, gloves, boots, whatever it is on the marketplace, you can go to that piece of armor, and when you try to buy it, it will be in the 0 to +5 bracket. You can essentially add 5 black stones to that piece of armor regardless of whether the piece of armor is +5 that's listed, and the marketplace will add the stones to the piece of armor and you'll be able to then come over to the blacksmith and extract them. This works exactly the same for weapons, and in terms of the costing, all you pay for is the cost of the 5 black stones or the 7 weapon stones, and then the cost of the actual weapon itself. To make this work consistently, you do have to put a maximum bid on either the armor or the weapons, but as you can see from what's going on in the video here, this is one of the ways that I've been able to grab such a large amount of black stones without them being any on the marketplace. Hards and sharps, however, unfortunately are a whole other mistress, and you do need to go out there and start gathering yourself or make use of the ones that we've been given for free and as part of the events that will undoubtedly be coming. Now another tip in terms of helping your stones go further. Using the durability option on green grade gear is a fantastic way to build fail stacks. All you need for this is a plus piece of gear that you can essentially fail on. If you haven't already looked at this, I do have a video that covers fail stacks that I'll link above and also in the description. But ultimately, you're going to choose the durability option. This is going to reduce the amount of durability that each failed attempt uses and also lower the probability that you'll succeed. This has twofold of an impact: that you can lower your chance to succeed, therefore building higher fail stacks, and you can also lower the amount of durability used, which means you don't have to repair the piece of gear as often. This has been my primary way of building fail stacks. I've been able to consistently get to around the 20 to 25 fail stack, if not more, on a piece of Talis armor that I've been using, which is a +14 pair of gloves. All that's happened there is it's upgraded to 15 twice, maybe 3 times, and I've got a negative karma roll that people have been pointing out is dying continuously in Vela, and that's purely to downgrade my piece of gear. Again, I will put a link in the description on how to build a negative karma roll, because we don't currently have access to the purifier in game. This will be added in a future patch and will make fail stacking and downgrading pieces of gear a lot easier. So that's essentially how I've been spending my week. Building fail stacks, enhancing gear, breaking down gear for armor and weapon stones, downgrading items with a negative karma roll, and then ultimately deleting a trigrunal helmet that I'm now waiting to be restored. The next thing that I wanted to touch on this video though is a quick tip for people that are still leveling on how I got from level 57 to level 59 in way under 5 hours. So if you went through either the grind route to get to level 55 and above, or you just did the main quest line, so the main Black Spirit quest line, this is going to be a viable option. Even if you did do a lot of the quests, it's definitely worth going back and taking a look at this. So to level this quickly, all you need to do is complete quests in Balanos, Serendia and Calphium. So to just give you a quick example of how efficient this is, pay attention to the top left of my screen. This is where the experience bar is. You'll all already be familiar with this. So before handing in any of these quests, I started at just over 13% experience. Now the beauty of these quests is because I'm already level 57 or 58 at this point when I get to this area, killing the quest mobs takes no time at all. In fact, it took me less than 2 minutes to actually complete this series of quests. I ran to the troll encampment, I picked up all of the quests that are considered general quests. These have a yellow experience orb as a reward, and each one of these will give you around 1% experience. This massively speeds up the grind from 57 to 59, and is definitely the way that you should be looking to level, especially if you're trying to stay on curve with the rest of the population. Unfortunately, the grind from 59 to 60 is currently incredibly slow. However, it is worth noting that once we get access to Camasilvia region, something similar to this will also be available, in the sense that you can level through quests very quickly from 60 to 61, and I do believe up to 62. However, I'll have to check that again once it does land on the PS4 version. So this is how I spent my time leveling. I literally just went back through the zones. This troll encampment alone took me from from just over 13% up to 20% of a level, or nearly 22% actually by the time I handed this in. As you can see, this is massively faster than grinding ever will be for these levels. No matter how many combat experience buffs you have, being able to get 7% experience in less than 5 minutes just doesn't happen grinding, except for when you're around level 2. So this has definitely been the quickest that I've ever managed to get from 57 to 59. I would say though that don't start the questing until you do get to around level 57. It's much easier to just grind and get those last couple of levels 55 onwards at places like Helms, Sorsons if you've got the gear for it, Rogues, Mains, all good places to grind, and they are a lot quicker. You don't want to damage the quest experience that you'll get by running out of quests, ultimately preventing you from getting to level 59 with these quests. Now when you are looking for them, you're just going to look at big regions. So outside of Calphion, you've got the farms that have a ton of quests. You've also got Abandoned Land. You've got the troll encampment north of that. All of Calphion's quests as well, or pretty much all of them. You've then got things like Trent, Bear, and the Hex Sanctuary. They all have tons and tons of quests. So make sure that you're going through them systematically from zone to zone. Not only will you make a ton of experience, you'll actually also pick up a load of silver. In fact, getting from 57 to 59, I managed to pick up close to 40 million, purely from doing all of the quests. So as you can see, it's definitely worth doing. But anyway guys, that's pretty much it for this episode of The Grind. So just to recap on a couple of the points that I did touch on, if you're having issues getting your hands on armor stones or weapon stones, check out the video in the description. It's titled Unlimited Armor or Unlimited Weapon Stones, with a very dodgy spelling on unlimited. This is a video I did back on Xbox and covers how you can essentially print your own armor and weapon stones so that you're not waiting on pre-orders from the marketplace. In terms of hards and sharps, the dominant way of getting these is through gathering. However, you can also level up your life skills. Things like cooking, alchemy, farming, gathering, processing, all have a quest chain starting from professional 10, and then every 4 levels I believe after that will guarantee that you can get hards and sharps. And then also throughout your time processing, or throughout your time gathering should I say, there's always that chance that you'll also get some from there. Now you do need to find a way that works for you to get hold of these materials, because there will be a drought on them for a long time to come. It took around 6 months, 7 months before they started to really appear on the marketplace on Xbox, so expect that it is going to be a long time before people have an abundance of these to sell. However, definitely get pre-orders on them as well, because I for one have had a whole ton of these come through on pre-orders overnight, and it's definitely helped to push my gear. The final thing then was also go back and do all of your questing zones. Make sure you've got general quests turned on. You don't want to pick up any of the life skill quests unless you're doing them anyway. But what you're looking for is that yellow EXP orb that shows in the rewards. The blue one is CP experience, the yellow one is combat experience, and that's what you want to make sure that you're picking up. Anyway guys, I hope that these tips and this information has been useful for you. It's been really interesting to see how my character's developed over these first 2 weeks, and I'm looking forward to seeing where the game takes me from here. Now the next video might be delayed, however I will have a surprise on the next video for everybody that's been following from day one. You'll probably already be able to guess what that surprise is, but we'll be making a guest appearance on my video following the siege and the nodes that are coming out on the 4th of September. If you are new to the channel, as always guys, I really appreciate the support, so hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you don't like the content. Either way, I welcome all of the feedback I can get from you. And for everybody else that's been here for the longest of times, your support means a whole bunch to me, and I couldn't do any of this without you. Thanks for watching guys, I'll catch you in the next video.